Hey, Edison and Red Smith band kids. We're going to talk to you today about lots of different aspects of the Preble band program. You're going to see some videos. You're going to meet some people, some faces you won't see next year because they're seniors, and some faces you will see next year starting in August with marching band camp.
Hi guys, my name is Emily and I'm going to talk to you about marching band with Preble bands. So something that's really cool about joining Preble bands is that you are automatically a part of our marching band and our concert band. So that means that not only do you play your normal concert band instrument for our concert band, but you're also going to be playing in our pep bands and marching bands. And that includes being in parades, our pep bands that perform at our football games and basketball games throughout the year, our field show that we do every year and perform at the halftime at our homecoming game, and many other things like school parades where we march around the school when one of our athletic teams goes to state. So it's required that you are a part of marching band, but it's actually a lot of fun. You start off the year in August with band camp, which is personally my favorite part of band, because you spend 1 week with every band kid and you're outside and you're learning your field show. As a freshman, you meet the upperclassmen for the first time, and it's just a lot of fun. I think that's where the most of my favorite band memories are made. Also, when you are in marching band, you get to go on trips. You get to go on marching trips. That's one of the most fun things about being in band, is that you get to tour all around the United States with the band.
All right, so in our marching band, we've got certainly our players on the field, and then we've got our visual unit, which is called our color guard. One of our star performers, kind of our color guard captain, and a 4-year member of the color guard is here with us this morning, Eleanor Stoll. And she's going to talk about the guard, what it does, and what it's like to juggle. She juggles a lot of things in guard in the fall, so take it away.
Yeah, so color guard is like the visual element to the band. I've been in color guard since my freshman year. If you're interested in joining, you don't have to have any kind of prior experience. Anyone is welcome to join. You don't even have to be in the music program. I took orchestra 1 year, but I've never taken a band class. You'll have to go do a few audition workshops, usually in spring, and do a little audition, but it's pretty informal. It's really just about gaining some skills that you might need and kind of getting to understand what it would be like to be in guard. And then we'll have a workshop in summer, and then we all go to band camp at the end of summer with the rest of the band. We'll perform at a bunch of different performances, including halftime performances, a bunch of parades during the year. You'll probably go on a trip with the band if that's happening. I'm not sure, but that would be really fun. And there's a bunch of different events that we sometimes go to. So I would highly recommend coming to a few workshops and checking it out if it's something that interests you.
All right, we're going to talk about the Preble drumline. I have my friend Ben here, Ben Taylor, who is a senior, and Grant Service, who is also a senior, both percussionists in the wind ensemble and both longtime members of the wind ensemble, or the wind ensemble, and drumline, which is one of our most popular groups here at Preble. So tell them where you guys have played, what you do mainly throughout the year.
We play at like a lot of different venues. We've played at gamblers games a lot. Those are a lot of fun. I know we've played at like Packer rallies. I remember our entire band actually played at the Packer rally last year for the playoffs. That was cool.
Is it just drummers in the drum line, or are there other musicians?
We had a lot of other people, I know. Like, even our leader last year was a clarinet player for a majority of his band life. Mm-hmm. And we usually do have a lot of non-percussionists who play in the drum line.
Okay, next we're going to talk about the Preble show choir program. We have 2 competitive show choirs, and everybody with their cameras on are members of those show choirs in some way, shape, or form. But I'm just going to turn it over to 2 seniors who are going to talk about show choir today, Luke Dockham and Michaela Rickard.
Hi, I'm Michaela. I've been in show choir all 4 years of high school. I've been through it throughout middle school, and I play bass guitar for both combos. So that's really fun.
My name's Luke Dockham. I've been in show choir all 4 years of high school and then 2 years in middle school. And I am in combo for our girls group rendezvous. I play aux percussion, and I'm a singer-dancer in center stage.
So one of the great opportunities that show choir gives, because I'm in the combo band, I get to play an instrument that I don't usually do for band. So if you do play like a second instrument like guitar like I do, that's a great way to kind of use it as for an after school activity. And I've also gotten to play tambourine, a little bit of trombone, and clarinet, which I haven't played since middle school. So it's kind of a great way to jump back and forth between instruments that you know and also expand musical knowledge and also compete with your group.
One really great thing about show choir is our competition season, which runs usually through January and February, and then we also have our cabaret in usually the beginning of April. Competitions are a fun way to meet different people from different show choirs and watch some really great shows, and it's just a really good time. I know everyone here can attest to that because there's great food. You can watch a bunch of different show choirs with a bunch of your friends, and it's just a really fun time, even if you have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So we also do a lot of other things around school. I know a lot of people are involved with jazz band. I'm also involved with musical. There are different sports that go through. Basketball runs through a lot. Or one year we did intermediate basketball with a group of friends, and we actually got a group of band kids to do basketball, and that kind of ran through some pep band games at times and show choir. But you do kind of a half and half system depending on what it is. So you'll spend half of your time at your sport. For example, we did that basketball, and then we'd spend half of the time at show choir. At the end of the day, it really comes down to communication between teachers and advisors of groups. So email your teachers, because that's important.
Preble High School, Preble Players Theater annual musical production. We have a full-scale musical theater production every fall. We are an award-winning theater group, and everyone with their cameras on right now has been involved in some way, shape, or form, and they are going to tell you what they do and what the experience is like being in our theater production and band at the same time.
All right, my name is Robin Van Langberg, and I've been in musicals since middle school, and I've been part of all 4 of Preble's past musicals, and I had the opportunity to be in Pit last year, so I've been in cast 3 times and Pit once, and I have to say that both of those types of musical experience have been awesome.
Hi, my name is Mari. I've been on the Preble's run crew for my freshman and my sophomore year, so for Newsies and for Mamma Mia, and I was also involved in crew all 3 years at Red Smith. And I think something really cool about being in a crew is that you don't have to be a singer or a dancer, or you don't even have to be in Pit to be in the musical. You can be in one of our crews. There's quite a few crews, and it's a really good way to get involved in the musical. So I would definitely recommend you join it. I'm personally am in the run crew, which is the backstage crew, which I think is really cool, but there's a couple other crews too, so.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm in hair and makeup crew my freshman and sophomore year, and then my junior and senior year I became the chief crew head of it. And I would say the most amazing thing about being in crew, especially hair and makeup, is that it is a little bit less time consuming. So I'm able to go out and do other things while still being involved.
So my name's Emily. I was in Pit for Mamma Mia. Pit practices about 2 to 3 times a week as a full ensemble, but it's mainly kind of on your own practice and making sure you learn your own parts. So then when you come together with your other members of the Pit, you just kind of run the whole show and get feedback and that's how it runs so much smoother.
Okay, these are the members of the current members and probably some past members of the Preble Jazz Band. There have been 2 jazz bands at Preble. Sometimes there's 1 jazz band at Preble. It all just depends on the year. And I'm going to turn it over to a 4-year member of Preble Jazz, Andrew Vandenhoven, who's going to kind of give you the rundown.
So, jazz band. I've been in it since freshman year. It's provided a very fun and collaborative extracurricular. It teaches jazz improvisation, the jazz style. You can perform at solo and ensemble and various jazz festivals such as UWGB Jazz Fest, Shawano Jazz Fest, and the Stevens Point Jazz Fest. And besides that, there are also small group combos that we perform at various band events or just events in general. Like we played at an airport for the past couple of years. It's given me opportunities to build up confidence and stage presence and to play with new people. So, I mean, it's a very fun extracurricular.
It's a completely different style of music than concert band, and it can be really fun, especially for lower instruments like tenor saxophones, baries, and trombones, who are, like, all of us are very used to just playing whole notes in concert bands. So if you're sick of playing whole notes, join jazz.
Okay, so at Preble, we obviously offer a lot of classes. It's a big school, and there are a lot of AP courses and advanced courses, dual credit courses that you can take. These kids are all in taking multiples, but we've got a couple of representatives who are going to talk about how to juggle, not juggle, but how to maintain those schedules.
It's completely manageable to take both band and AP classes and even be in other activities like jazz band and show choir at the same time. It's very important to set time aside for yourself to complete homework, like turn off your phone and just spend an hour just getting stuff done.
With what Carter said, really, time management is just the most important thing when it comes to this. If you have downtime between after-school activities, even just getting a little bit done, then makes it so much easier when you then go home to be able to finish what work you need to do for the next day.
There is a really great group of kids who end up going to the band room at lunch, usually if Mrs. Sweeney has her room open. Sometimes she doesn't, so you gotta kind of check ahead. But in there, I've found a really great community and group of students, and we've all kind of helped each other with homework. And so we found different ways to filter out how to make AP courses and other higher classes a lot easier in the band room.
Okay, we've got some athletes here. There's a lot of Preble musicians that stay in their sport, the ones that they started in middle school. There are just very few instances of a sport and a music group that just don't work well together. One of the more difficult ones is basketball and show choir. That's a little bit of a tougher one, but we have had students make it work.
In my experience, doing a sport and doing a musical activity is just like adding another music activity. So when I did show choir and then I went into track season and they intersected a little bit, I'd go to show choir first for like an hour and then I would switch to track. And I think the only thing that I'd be careful of was not getting super tired before I got to track, because you have to have some strength left to like do running and stuff after you start dancing for an hour or so.
There we would have like a rehearsal preparing for our Disney trip, then we'd have like a bowling meet like right after, so we would have a few of us just all carpool together to get to the bowling alley on time. And it was just a matter of communication between our coaches, just giving them a heads up that like we were all coming together to not like worry about us, and then also communication between Miss Sweeney about saying, hey, we might have to leave a few minutes early just so we can make it to this thing on time. And both Miss Sweeney and coaches are very flexible about it. You just have to have good communication between the two of them.
All right, so the last thing we're going to talk to you about is going on trips. Every other year, the band gets to go on a trip, and it alternates with the choir. So the band goes one year and the choir goes next year. And then every 4 years, the band gets to go to Disney. So my freshman year, we got to go to New York and perform in the St. Patrick's Day Parade, which was an amazing opportunity because you're marching with all of your closest friends, with your family watching you potentially on the news, and you're walking through skyscrapers with your friends right next to you, and it's really such a cool experience. And then last year, my junior year, we went to Disney. We got to march down Main Street, USA. It's weird that it actually happened, but it's such a cool experience. And one of the greatest things about the trips is that you only usually have 1 to 2 performances and the rest of it is free time to do whatever you want. You get to go hang out with your friends either at the Disney parks in Park Hop for 2 to 3 days, or when we were in New York, we got to explore all of New York and go on tours and learn about the city and just see the city with the band. And it was just a really, really awesome experience. If you're given the opportunity, I highly recommend going on the trip. We have lots of fundraising opportunities, so it helps make the cost better, but trips are definitely a major benefit of joining Preble bands because we get to go all sorts of places.